Immer noch geflasht vom Herrenfinale, das da vor 1,5 Stunden zu Ende gegangen ist, warten wir jetzt auf die Ladies. Und da wird es nicht nur spannend, weil es das zweite Finale ist in dieser Austrian Climbing Summer Series, sondern weil 2 Ladies komplett seit der Qualifikation gleich auf sind. Es verspricht, ein Abend der Emotionen zu werden an einem Ort, der Emotionen schon gezeigt hat. Nämlich spätestens seit der Kletterweltmeisterschaft 2018 wissen wir hier in Innsbruck, wenn sich die Kletterelite einfindet, geht's rund. Und deshalb stimmen wir uns finalträchtig ein mit den schönsten Bildern der damaligen Weltmeisterschaft, wo noch Zuseher erlaubt waren.
右側 OK そのまま今度10時ですアンダー右ないですそのまま行っちゃっていいよ
Und nach Corona ist natürlich alles anders. So auch diese Summer Series. Aber Anna Stör, willkommen jetzt zum Damenfinale. Werden wir jemals wieder solche Bilder erleben? Also der Weltcup momentan ist ja in einem regen Umbau. Da weiß man nicht, wann gibt es wieder einen Stopp. Was sagst du?
Ja, es ist wirklich schwer zum Wissen. Der einzig sozusagen bestätigte Weltcup ist der Weltcup in Briançon Ende August, aber natürlich ohne Publikum. Das heißt, wann wir wirklich wieder die Menge das Publikum zum Toben bringen werden, ist fraglich.
Man hat aber schon gesehen, Wettkampfstimmung ist auf jeden Fall bei der Wand selber vorhanden, gerade im Herrenfinale, weil es wahnsinnig spannend war. In China beispielsweise wurden alle Weltcups jetzt einmal abgesagt, aber wir haben uns eine China-Mauer ausgesucht, wo wir euch jetzt noch entführen wollen, nämlich draußen mit Reini Scherer, einem der Urväter des österreichischen Klettererfolgs, und Hanna Schubert wollen wir euch eine Great Line Outside vorstellen, bevor wir dann auf die Favoriten des Damenfinales blicken.
Jeder, der einen Urinstinkt vom Klettern in sich hat.
First ascents are a core part of what climbing is about. You go somewhere, see a rock face and think, hey, why is there no route here? It is such a great wall or such a cool route that you just have to climb it. After all, rocks are there to be climbed.
Irgendwo eine Linie zu entdecken und die dann als erster.
I've always had an urge to discover new lines and become the first person to climb them. Pols 2000 was one of the first steep athletic sport climbing routes which Heinz Zack drilled many years ago. Today, it is the classic route for advanced and expert climbers.
Ich habe als Kind, wo ich angefangen habe, klettern, sehr wenig davon mitgekriegt.
When I started climbing as a child, I didn't really know much about all the hard work he and other people did to set up climbing areas like this. Today I find it really interesting and very, very impressive. So I already knew more or less where the holds were. Of course, there were some things I had to do a bit differently because of my size.
The climbing is her kind of style, steep and athletic, ideal for competition climbers. I don't try to keep up with them. I've had my time, but it's cool just being outside with them. If you take a look and see how many people are out there climbing on the rocks and in the climbing centres, and how good they are, then it makes me proud because I think I made my own contribution with the pioneering work we did back then.
Und die Great Line des Kunstfelsens wird jetzt gerade begutachtet. Wir sind mittendrin in der Besichtigung fürs Damenfinale und wollen jetzt die Geschichte aufrollen vom Beginn an. Anna, letzte Woche Speed ist ja auch eine der 3 Disziplinen. Wir schauen uns schnell an den Sieg von Alexandra Elmer. Hast du oder die Highlights auch von den Jungs, hast du als Speed-Spezialist bei dieser Summer Series überhaupt eine Chance?
Ja, für die Alex ist es natürlich schwierig, weil sie im Boulder nicht am Start ist. Sie hat also keine Chance, aber bei der Olympia-Quali sind einige Speed-Spezialistinnen wirklich schon für Olympia qualifiziert. Die sind aber auch schon sehr stark im Bouldern und im Vorstieg. Das heißt, man braucht schon ein Gesamtpaket, um in der Kombination stark zu sein.
Da sehen wir das Finale zwischen Alexandra Elmer und Franziska Ritter. Alexandra hat angeschlagen mit 8,38. Und nach dem Finale hat sie Folgendes gesagt.
Also die ersten Wochen, wo es richtig der Lockdown war, da bin ich viel daheim gewesen und habe im Garten Kraft trainiert, weil ich habe ein paar Sachen vom Olympiazentrum gekriegt, dass ich auch gut trainieren kann. Dann habe ich mir noch so einen Beastmaker zugelegt und habe halt echt viel Kraft trainiert und alternative Sachen. Und sobald es dann gegangen ist, war ich auch viel am Fels und habe das auch mal genossen. Und dann haben wir eigentlich schon Mitte Mai in die Kletterhalle dürfen und dann haben wir uns schon super vorbereiten können für die Summer Series.
Speed war ein Teil und dann gab es noch das Boulder-Finale, Nummer 1 mit Jo Färber, die das gewonnen hat letzte Woche. Die Jo Färber steht jetzt wieder im Finale. Absolute Favoritin?
Ja, sie ist auf jeden Fall eine der Favoritinnen, aber nicht zu vergessen, die Weltmeisterin von 2016 im Bouldern, Petra Klingler, ist ihr dicht auf den Fersen, eigentlich gleich auf. Sie beide sind derzeit ex aequo und werden im Finale natürlich das Ganze gewinnen wollen, aber auch die Jessie Bilz lauert auf dem 5. Platz und auch die Eva-Maria Hammelmüller, die letzte Woche die Zweitplatzierte war von der Austrian Climbing Summer Series Part 1, ist jetzt wieder im Finale, also es wird auf jeden Fall spannend.
Sie haben letzte Woche mitgemischt, sind heute wieder mit dabei, das sind jetzt zur Einstimmung mal die Momente letzter Woche. Das war letzte Woche und heute im Semifinale haben alle 6 Finalistinnen, die jetzt in die ISO-Zone gehen, alle Tops gelöst. Jetzt schauen wir uns das einmal an. Lucia Dörfel, die deutsche Boulder- und Leadmeisterin in ihrem Semifinale.
Ja, die Lucia hat wirklich überzeugt. Sie war letzte Woche nicht dabei und ist jetzt das erste Mal am Start bei den Austrian Climbing Summer Series und schon als Dritte qualifiziert fürs Finale. Auch die Zweitplatzierte hat eine wirklich starke Leistung abgegeben. Entschuldigung, das ist natürlich die Erstplatzierte, die Jo Färber, die ex-Aequo mit Petra Klingler ins Finale eingezogen ist. Hat alle Boulder im Flash gelöst, gleich wie die Schweizerin Petra Klingler. Und diese zwei sind wirklich ganz heiß auf den Sieg.
Und das Spezielle dran, die waren auch in der Qualifikation völlig ex-Aequo. Also die starten da mit komplett gleichen Vorzeichen hinaus. Und das Besondere bei Jo Färber war, sie hat beim ersten Boulder von den 4 schon gewusst, sie muss eigentlich alle 4 toppen, um überhaupt eine Chance zu haben. Und das hat sie uns dann auch im Anschluss in ihrem Interview bestätigt. Noch sehen wir hier
Petra Klingler, Weltmeisterin
Petra
von 2016. Ja, die Petra war wirklich total im Wettkampfmodus sozusagen. Sie ist da durchgezogen und hat das Ding wirklich gerockt. Hat eine sehr starke Show abgeliefert, auch auf diesen schweren Boulder Nummer 4.
Gleich auf mit Jo Färber. Und das war die Jo ganz knapp nach ihrem Sieg im Semifinale.
Ich bin reinkommen in die Halle und habe gleich gehört, man muss 4 Boulder machen. Und das war jetzt irgendwie fast mental eine größere Herausforderung, als die dann wirklich zu klettern. Also ich war extrem nervös und habe halt gewusst, ich darf keinen Fehler machen.
Wie geht man damit um? Also wie bereitet man sich davor?
Ich habe einfach geschaut, dass ich es mir richtig gut anschaue, im Vorhinein wenig Zeit verschwende und wenig Kraft verschwende und einfach versuche, sie schnellstmöglich zu klettern, ohne viel Nachdenken. Und
du hast dich erholt vom letztwöchigen Sieg auf heute einmal wieder runtergefahren, die Systeme? Hilft es?
Es war ja nicht so viel Pause, aber die Tage habe ich genossen, ein bisschen entspannt und habe mich gut vorbereitet.
So spannend wird wie das Herrenfinale, dann halten Sie sich fest, läuten Sie die Nachbarn aus dem Bett, jetzt geht's los. Anna, du gehst auf deine englische Fachkommentarposition und wir starten das Damenfinale. Viel Vergnügen.
Good evening and welcome back to Innsbruck. It's just gone 8:30 in the evening and the women's final about to get underway here. The second round of the Austrian Climbing Summer Series, and it is the women's final. We had the men's final earlier on, and before that we had both the women's and the men's semi-finals. It's been a full day of competition, or in our case talking about competition. Equally tiring, I should add, as competing itself. Charlie Bosco here and Anna Sturr alongside me, as she has been all day and was all of Thursday. Deserves a medal just for that. And Sandra Lettner, the first climber out in this women's final. 6 women through, standard World Cup protocol, so 4 minutes flat for each climber to attempt each boulder. And after Sandra Lettner, there'll be Jessie Pilz, Eva Maria Hammelmuller, Lucia Dorfel, last week's winner Johanna Ferber, and then Petra Klingler. Johanna Ferber and Petra Klingler tied in the qualifiers and tied it again in the semi-final, just something to keep an eye on. But Sandra Lettner, the Youth Olympic champion, it's got a nice ring to it, out first. Had 1 attempt already at this boulder.
Yeah, hello everybody. Also from my side,
Welcome back to the Austrian Climbing Summer Series Part 2, women's final, and Sandra is our first woman out on boulder number 1. Tricky boulder.
Yeah, it's a rollover really. Roll out to the right, get the feet out, work the hand up. Women's 2, by the way, is the slab over to the right. So they can save a little. They can give this boulder everything they've got really, because obviously they'll have a rest while the other 5 climbers climb, and then they've got a relatively unphysical boulder after this one.
Yeah, and Sandra is struggling with the first part of this boulder problem so far. Of course, she is used to climbing in finals. She is a youth world and youth European champion, as well as the only gold medalist at the Youth Olympic Games in 2018. So she knows what it feels like to climb 3 rounds. Not all climbers are used to that, and it definitely requires a lot of power, a lot of strength, and you have to be very much in shape to climb 3 rounds. And Sandra managed to grab the zone now. She has to move her foot up left. Come on, Sandra. Yeah, looking really strong
pretty
now.
Good from Sandra now. Not an easy move to the top actually. You're kind of off balance when you get the top. What you can do is just grab the left hand hold and then just lean a finger over. Sandra just never quite looked like she could get comfortable up there.
Oh, and if any one of you were watching the semi-finals of the women's, yeah, it really reminds me of the boulder number 1 in the women's semi-final, because the top hold was very similar. She manages to grab the top with one hand, but can't quite match it. Maybe she would have to put her right foot up. We will see.
A relatively easy set for the women in the semi-final actually. We had 2 climbers, Julia Fischer and Lea Kempf. Shout out to them. They got 4 tops in the semi-final, but attempts kept them out of the final. It was a bit of an easy set for the women. It's actually very entertaining to watch, but I think the route setters probably turned the difficulty up a little bit for this final, and Sandra struggling to repeat her heroics on the jump and is out of time. Does come off the boulder with a zone though. Jessie Pilz will be next out, the 2-time lead World Cup winner and 1-time lead world champion. Had a great run of making podiums in Boulder World Cups last year. Very much an all-round athlete, qualified for the Olympics as well. Here she comes.
Yeah, there's Jessie with her own brush. One of the requirements during Corona times. Every athlete has to use his or her own brush, or one brush is handed to them rather. Of course, another restriction is that we don't have any crowd here in Innsbruck. Usually, if you think back to the World Championship, or if Jessie thinks back to her World Championship in 2018, which she won in lead, there was a huge crowd, and now she's looking at empty seats. But of course, there's a commentator, there's music, there are lights, so on the screen it looks like a normal World Cup.
So she's already had a look at these start moves, Jessie. As I say, a bit of an awkward start. She's got to be super accurate with both the hand and then keep the feet moving. You see Jessie stalled slightly there, just slowed down midway through the movement. Not enough momentum.
Yeah, she does have the right method though. I think that is the way to go, at least that's what the route setters told me. Route setting team around Martin Hammerer, Andi Matuszka, Jörg Verhoeven and Flo Monig. These 4 men set the boulders here tonight. Come on, Jessie. Yes.
And this time she does it. Left shoulder took some punishment.
Sticks the zone.
Yeah, still going up to the zone. And again, no gimmies. We saw Sandra Lettner touch the top hold with one hand, really hold it actually, but couldn't get the other one to join it. Jessie just cleverly swaps the right hand round actually. Goes up to the top hold, trying to figure out how to do this in balance. It looks from this angle like you could get your knee on the zone, but actually it wouldn't really work.
But that is the method that the route setters told me, trying to get a toe hook on the right hand volume while grabbing the top hold is apparently the method to go. But as we all know, there are always various ways to solve a boulder problem, and Jessie tried the right version. Did not quite work out.
So both climbers so far have touched the top hold. More than touched it, grabbed it.
Yeah, it's a really tricky top again. You gotta be, it'll be hard to secure this top hold with both hands. I'm curious to see what method she's opting for right now in this try. Yeah, does the first part nicely. Come on, Jessie.
Really uncomfortable first move, but then real change of style here. Now then, swaps the right hand again, just to keep her steady through the movement.
Come on, Jessie! Ah!
And she just can't find a way of staying still. As soon as you begin to move left, it's pretty hard to stay on.
Definitely not a good top hold here. And if Jessie can't hold on, then that just means that it's a very difficult boulder.
She seems to have this lower move sorted now, so should be through that again, unless she's getting fatigued, which I think she might be.
Yeah, she didn't have a lot of rest now. Come on, Jessie. Yeah, with 15.
Gonna have to climb it pretty quickly at this rate, and she's well short, but of course if she doesn't top the boulder, the attempts don't count, if you like, so you might as well go for it. But yeah, I think that a couple of goes before this one was probably the best one.
I think that was her closest go. She's trying to hold that top hold, but can't quite manage it.
Now is Eva Maria Hammelmüller, who was one of the stories of last week. Top in the qualifying round, top in the semi-final round, almost won the final, ended up second, but a real breakout performance from her.
Yeah, Eva is part of the youth Austria climbing team. She placed 5th at the Youth World Championship in the combined ranking in Anarco, and 14th at the European Championship in Zakopane in Bouldering, both last year. She podiumed in both lead and boulder in the European Youth Cups, and placed 7th at Studio Block this year, the only competition, the only international competition that took place so far in 2020. And of course, I think she's not used to the role of being the favorite yet. It's quite tricky for her because she managed to grab the silver medal last week, excuse me. And now, of course, she is under a certain pressure to repeat it.
Yeah, it seems like she can't get the swing going fast enough. The left hand lands and then the legs are a little too slow to follow.
Yeah, it's tricky to get that right foot over in time before your left hand lets go. Come on, Eva.
Eva, let's go.
Yeah, can't quite find the coordination and the timing on this move. Up next, by the way, will be Lucia Dörfel, who was 3rd in that combined final in Arco that we just mentioned, and then Johanna Ferber, last week's winner, and then 2016 world champion Petra Klingler. So they're the 3 climbers still to come.
Ale Eva.
That was a bit closer.
Yeah, that was her best go so far. I think she has a hard time not rushing it. It seems as if she wants to get back into the boulder right away. Sometimes it's good to take a step back, as she's doing right now. Yeah, before trying another time.
We didn't have the same angle, but that looked closer again.
Yeah, she climbed excellently last week, and I'm sure that she can can do this move. It's just a question whether she can do it in 5 minutes.
Oh, trying something a bit different. We're about to hear the buzzer to say that there's 1 minute left. There it is, so time running a little low for her. Likes this foot back method.
Yeah, and sometimes it is good to try a different method. In bouldering, there are always multiple ways to solve a boulder. But I'm not 100% convinced if that's the right way.
No, she's sticking with it.
But please prove me wrong, Eva, come on.
The two climbers before her had a really good look at the top without actually managing to top the boulder.
Come on,
Here she
Eva.
goes again. Yeah, she really likes that method. Sadly, 15 seconds to go. I think she's only going for the zone if she's going for anything here. And just does not get on with the start of that one at all. Lucia Dörfel out next of Germany, the only German representative in the final. Petra Klingler, the sole Swiss climber as well, back in the final for the second week running.
Lucia placed 8th in last week's event. So she's back in Innsbruck for a second time. And she's the German lead champion from last year. Lucia already has some World Cup experience. She started 7 times at a World Cup so far. No final though. So she's also, like Eva, used to finals in the youth category, but not so much in the adult category yet.
She's actually the only one of the 6 climbers who wasn't in the final last week. It was Mattea Puzzi in place of Lucia Dörfel last week. The other 5 climbers are in their second final in the space of a week.
Yeah, so they're quite consistent.
Impressively consistent.
Of course, a final performance also gives you a confidence boost, which is always
it feels
good
like
to
we
have.
see that quite a lot in the World Cups, where people make a final and then they make all the finals. Did you find that when you broke a barrier, you make a final, podium, win, you then expected it?
To a certain degree, although I would say that the second win is almost the hardest, because if you win once, you might be surprised, but then winning a second time is pretty tough. Yeah, and then once you're on a roll, sometimes if it rolls, it can actually roll. We'll see if it will roll for Lucia tonight. She's taking a look at the boulder.
That's where she's going. You can see the little black blocker on the right. Just prevents the hold being as good as you want it to be.
It's not a bad hold, but remember, there are no feet. You have to swing without a foot to the right-hand side onto the right volume. So even if it's a good hold, it's not as excellent if you don't have any feet. Or footholds. Of course you have feet. My bad.
You can see what she's up against. You can see your hand just wants to drop onto the sweet spot of the hole, but that black blocker doing its job a little bit too well. She just can't get the coordination right. Look at her fingertips. Skin likely to be an issue by this stage. Good conditions in here though, it's chilly. Most people sitting in here with a jacket on. Big change from last week.
Yeah, especially now the women are climbing later on, so now the conditions are definitely better. Yeah, Lucia is having a hard time, just like Eva before her. Both of these women are struggling with this first move, or first couple of moves. But we believe in you, Lucia. You can definitely do it.
Yeah, she's really struggling with her skin, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine climbing 3 rounds, 5 boulders in qualification, 4 boulders in semifinals, 4 boulders in finals, and all these holds are brand new. They're only tested by the route setters, obviously. They test the boulders. Yeah, but other than that, nobody's used them before, so they are very rough on your skin.
And that is time up for Lucia Dörfel. Johanna Faber out next. She's got a title to defend, last week's winner.
And of course, Johanna knows that nobody has topped the boulder so far. As you can see, 1 zone from Jessica Pilz in 3 attempts, 1 zone from Sandra Lettler in 4 attempts, and neither Lucia nor Eva Maria Hammermüller managed to validate the zone hold.
I've got to say, in the semi-final, Johanna Faber and Petra Klingler looked a little level above everyone else. They looked super strong. Both of them flashed all 4 bowlers in the semi-finals, got them done first time. And as I say, Johanna won last week, Petra was on the podium last week, and they looked like they meant business in the semi-final.
Yeah, and for Johanna, last week's win for Johanna was definitely a boost in confidence. Maybe that's why she looked so strong in today's semi-final. I'm looking forward to see her performance tonight. And I am very curious if we will see the first top on boulder number 1.
So she pulls on and has a first look at that move.
Wow, but you can see that that's no joke. And I mean, we saw both Sandra and Jessie climbing almost to the top, did not quite make it. So this boulder is definitely really, really hard. Come on, Johanna.
Did it in a completely different cadence to the other climbers. Almost stopped before them moving the feet. But this looks really promising for Johanna Faber, and it would put Petra Klingler under real pressure if she could walk back behind the stage with the top in the bag, like Jessie, gets the hand swap right, now tries to go for the top and latches it. Johanna Faber, I said she looked a level above the competition along with Petra Klingler in the semi-final, and she has brought that form to the final.
And this just gave me goosebumps, I have to admit. Wow, that was a really good top by Johanna Faber. And look at this crux move. Sticking the top hold is the crux, and she manages super nicely. There's the smile of Johanna Faber. Wow, now I'm excited to see our next competitor.
Well, Petra's under a little bit of pressure now.
Although if she flashes it, that would put her at the top.
As I say, her and Johanna tied in both rounds. They even not only tied on numbers, but also took the same number of attempts on each boulder in the qualified. Very rare you see a tie all the way through the competition. Petra could separate herself from Johanna here, but only if she flashes the boulder.
Come on,
certainly
Petra.
capable of doing it, but this first jump move seems to take a bit of figuring out. Yeah, so she's not going to flash it.
Just like Johanna has a hard time on this first move. Not only Johanna, but
Johanna seems to learn incredibly quickly, though.
Yeah,
she
that's
did it
right.
once and then
tried
knew
it
how
once,
to do it.
and I mean, she could have fallen off, I guess. It was on the limit, but it is often, and we'll see if Petra manages to do this move now on her second attempt. No, she falls off.
So she's not going to be leading after this boulder, no matter what she does.
And now she does take a step back. Our bouldering world champion from Paris 2016. She has won 1 World Cup in her career and the World Championship. The Bouldering World Cup was in Haiyang in 2015. And
there she goes, she's got it this time. So this is attempt number 3 for Petra. Heading up to the zone. Just trying to figure out what order to move in. She's got it right so far. Out with the left, then hand swap with the right, or will she bother? Yes, she will. Hard to imagine doing it without the hand swap. Now just needs to get solid on this top hole. That right foot doesn't look amazing.
Oh,
but it's good enough.
Nice job. That's
Great
the
work,
infectious
Petra.
smile that we know from Petra Klingler. 1 top in 3 attempts. So very close battle as of now. But you could you could really see that the top hole is not a very good hold. She was struggling to match it. Got herself just in the right position, and
she daren't look at the judge while she was matching. She just held the position. So that's how they stand. Johanna Faber and Petra Klingler finally separated, but only by 1 attempt. Sandra Lettner now makes her way over to the right-hand side of the stage for the slab. Every round's had 1 slab in it, and the route setters seem to put a slightly more technical boulder, albeit not a slab, just to the left of the slab, like we've just seen. But this is the only pure slab. I'm told they don't think this one is super hard, but how
but
they
of course
read
that's
things,
what the route setters say. And
Well,
if you
that's
hear
it,
the
yeah.
names of the route setters, these men can climb very hard. So yeah, I'm not really sure what it means if they say it's not the hardest slab. And as a route setter, of course, you have a lot of time to try these boulders. And even if they're not as hard in difficulty, you have to imagine climbing these boulders in 5 minutes. I mean, you come out in 4 minutes, of course. In finals, you have 1 minute of observation.
Yeah.
So that's 5 minutes in total. But yeah, you have to imagine coming out, discussing the boulders, and then trying to actually climb in it 4 minutes. So even if these boulders aren't extremely hard difficulty-wise, it's a lot about tactics, strategy, a mental game, so many issues that come into play in bouldering comps.
So Sandra not had any trouble getting into the start position. It is the best way apparently to kind of run into it. And then looking to go out with the left hand. Another awkward fall. We mentioned it earlier, we're in the athletics hall, and just behind that black curtain is the long jump sand pit, so there is another soft landing waiting if you go all the way over to the right.
Yeah, the athletics hall is just behind the Kletterzentrum in Innsbruck. And yeah, the climbers are on the wall of the World Championship from 2018. That's when the competition took place in the Olympic Stadium here in Innsbruck. Now, as Charlie said, we're in the athletic hall.
Yeah, we're right. We're at the Sillside complex, right next to the River Sill. I remember when I first came to Innsbruck, I was always getting lost because I didn't know there was 2 rivers. You're always thinking, why there should not be a river here.
That's confusing, yeah.
Get Google Maps out. Ah, there's 2. That makes sense. There's the River Inn and the River Sill.
Yep, exactly.
Sandra so far has slipped. Her feet have just gone seemingly unexpectedly every time.
Claims the zone now, and that's a huge split out left. This looks really promising.
Yeah, extraordinary flexibility from Sandra Lettner. Now needs some flexibility in the shoulders so that she can lever over her right arm. Amazing to get her foot up like that.
And I believe that was the 1 minute beep. Yeah, 50 seconds to go. Sandra still brushes the holds, which is always important on a slab. You don't want any excess chalk on neither hands nor feet, or handhold or foothold. With 40 seconds left on the clock, she should definitely be able to top the boulder in time. Come on, Sandra.
Now, the method she used was quite incredible. Got the left foot up from there, but that is not going to be enough. But she gets on the board. That's a second zone on the 2 boulders for Sandra Lettner.
Yeah, that was a really strong performance here from Sandra. But then her foot slipped as she wanted to press over this left foothold.
So Jessie Pilz, you can see down there, picked up the zone on her third attempt on Boulder 1. About to get on with things.
Yeah, now Jessie can take revenge on the slabs. She didn't quite enjoy the slabs in last week's round or this week's round so far. But I know that she's capable of climbing it. Come on, Jessie. Yeah, she prefers the powerful boulders to these technical slabs. Her first World Cup start was back in 2012, so she's been on the circuit for quite some time.
Amazing to think she's been around 8 years now, Jessie.
Yeah, only 23 years old.
And again, didn't realise when she was about to fall. I'll be happy if no one injures himself on this, because everyone seems to be falling when they're not expecting it.
Yep, that's true, but there are no sharp angles on these volumes at least, so I think they should be fine. Come on, Jessie.
You can see how bad the angle is for the feet.
Yeah, there's not really much you can stand on actually. Jessie uses a very soft shoe to stand on these volumes.
Time ticks away quickly on these slabs. That's half of it gone already. So here she goes. Don't know what method she'll employ. She's trying to crimp the top of that volume. Again, these are dual texture, so the wooden looking bit is useless and the white bit is high friction, but Jessie just trying to actually get hold of the top of the volume. The route setters are pretty careful to get them drilled tight to the wall so that climbers can't do that. I wouldn't imagine there's much there to hold on to.
No, that's definitely not the way to go. I mean, Jessie, of course, is really strong in crimping hard, but the easier way would definitely be to hold this strange undercling or to stem into it, because you're not really holding on to anything. Now she's trying to grab whatever she can.
Beep for 1 minute to go. No progress yet. Eva Maria Hamel-Muller out next. Jessie got just under a minute to do something about this. That top foothold's causing all sorts of problems.
Yeah, she really does not enjoy that first part of the boulder. One last go as time is ticking, 25 seconds left on the clock.
And I think she's had enough actually, Jessie. Yeah, doesn't fancy another go at that.
Yeah, so, of course she'll be disappointed.
Yeah, that's one zone from the first two boulders for her. And Eva Maria Hamel-Muller out next. Looks ready to get on with it.
Yeah, she definitely looks ready and psyched. Eva is a true competitor. When you say the word competition, Eva seems to be ready. She's been looking forward to this Austrian Climbing Summer Series. Although she spent a lot of time climbing outside while the gyms were closed.
Again, trying to find something on the top of that volume. No problem up to the zone, and she should be awarded that because she is moving off it. She should definitely be awarded it now. Again, incredible flexibility. She can't, can she? Got herself in position here. Eva Maria Hammermuller.
Yeah, now
Just
she
trying
needs
to figure
move
out
her
how to
foot
use
out
this.
right, because again, there's nothing to hold on to, nothing to crimp. She needs to get her right foot where her right hand is. That would be the ideal spot to have a solid position. Wow, but she's been crimping in Ötztal and she crimps down that dual texture volume. Wow.
Well, that is not how you're supposed to do it, but who cares as long as you get the top. Eva Maria Hammermuller strolls up the slab.
And I think that was a flash from Eva.
Yeah, first go.
But I mean, yeah, she has been climbing a lot in Ötztal, which is just over an hour from Innsbruck. She lives in Innsbruck, and she crimps that dual texture volume. Wow, that was a strong performance from Eva Maria Hammermuller.
Lucia Dörfel now of Germany, knowing full well that the boulder has been topped. The German team now make their way over to this part of the arena. I'm not sure they're supposed to do that, but hey ho, as long as they stay a few meters apart, I'm sure no one will mind too much. You're supposed to stay in your seat here. All the seats have got names on.
Yep.
Anyway,
but of course there are only 3 team members from Team Germany. They're having a safe distance between them. So
they're
I guess
okay.
It is okay for the officials.
Doesn't quite
some strange requirements during these times. There's no crowd. The officials are wearing masks. But we're happy to have this Austrian Climbing Summer Series with German and Swiss athletes as well as Austrian athletes.
So Lucia Dörfel had a bit of a false start, and again, everyone seems to have been doing a lot of stretching.
Yeah, excuse my wow, but she's a smaller climber and she has no problem at all bringing her foot up high. I'd be struggling big time. But now she's trying to match that hold, and she is bringing the right foot up. Yes, nice job, and a flash.
Would have been a flash. She actually had one attempt at the start.
Oh, excuse me, second attempt.
Yeah, barely got off the ground on the first attempt. First real attempt, we could call it.
Okay, I missed it. I am so sorry.
Sadly for the scores, it is 2 attempts, but it was the first time she actually got started.
Yeah, but I think she's still happy with this try. Shakes her head for a little bit, but I think she can be satisfied. Good job to Lucia Dörfel on this tricky slab, which moved her into the third position.
The third spot, and Johanna Ferber back out. First boulder topped on her second attempt. This one has been flashed. Eva Maria Hammermuller flashed it.
Yeah, and Johanna usually enjoys climbing on slabs, so she should be able to top this boulder.
What a story it would be if she could win both rounds of this summer series.
But
with the strength of the competition.
3 boulders yet to be completed by Johanna Ferber. Of course, it would be incredible. Let's see. I know some women who would have something against that. Come on, you. Show us your slab skills. She climbs a lot at Blockhaus, which is a climbing gym in Graz. That's where she lives. She also sets routes, actually. So maybe she knows what the route setters were thinking, as she's a route setter herself, and no problem with the flexibility there. Wow. Come on, flash it, Johanna.
Could be the first flash of this boulder.
Yeah.
It's been topped twice already. And it is a flash. Sorry, second flash of the boulder. Getting carried away with myself again. We were live. We started our live stream 12 hours ago. You got to cut me some slack.
Yeah, apologies if we get things mixed up. Beautifully climbed by Johanna Ferber.
Yeah, we can agree on that.
Oh, and she is really putting pressure on Petra Klingler.
Well, it also means that Petra can't catch her now on this boulder, so she will. Johanna Ferber will lead going on to the final 2 boulders.
Yeah, and of course Petra knows that nobody has won a comp yet on the second boulder, but it will be important if it comes down to attempts in the end. It will be important to do this boulder quickly, and she knows, of course, that she can flash this one as well. If the others can, she can. She's the world champion.
So every micro movement crucial here for Petra. Gets safely established on the zone. Oh, and slips, so it will not be a flash. She's going to drop a little bit further behind Johanna Faber, even if she gets this done.
And sometimes it is easier to be the one who can put pressure on the next athlete. It's a little bit harder in Petra's situation because she has to follow suit. And yeah, right now it's Johanna who's putting pressure on Petra, and she's doing it successfully so far. Second try on the slab for Petra.
Is she? Yes, she does back her flexibility. It's just a little bit short, just has to readjust, but gets herself in position eventually.
Come on, Petra. I'd be so interested in seeing the men trying this final slab of the women, because these women have a lot of flexibility skills. I mean, this is very impressive what they're showing here right now. It doesn't quite go her way yet. That's of course disappointing for Petra. One hand on the top. She makes it really exciting for us though.
Yeah, you can see never quite look comfortable in that position going for the top. Three climbers already topped this, flashed by Johanna Faber, flashed by Eva Maria Hammermuller, topped by Lucia Dorfel. Petra Klingler as yet not found a top.
Wow, easily moves her foot up.
Johanna Faber, the only climber so far who's topped both of the first two boulders. Could Petra join her? She's going to try and squeeze it again.
Whoa.
And for the second boulder running, she finds a way.
Yeah, shakes her head because of course she knows that she spent some crucial attempts on this slab, 3 attempts that is.
Still
Boy,
can't
she
quite
pinches
believe.
that dual texture volume.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how that's possible, but she did it. So on to boulder 3, over on the far left of the stage. Very, very physical boulder, this one.
Yeah, the results just show that 2 women, Johanna and Petra, have 2 boulders.
As I say, they looked just that step above in the semi-final, and it's looked that way in the final as well. Good old wrestle on boulder 3 here. Sandra just going for a tiny little screw-on hole, which hopefully we'll get a close-up of a bit later on. The foot just slips at the crucial moment.
Yeah, that's a very steep part of this World Championship wall of Innsbruck 2018. It's a powerful boulder that Sandra is trying to solve right now. She just finished school a couple of weeks earlier. Of course, didn't have as much time for training, but managed to climb into the second final of this second round of the Austrian Climbing Summer Series.
So there we can see, it's quite an unusual one actually, because you start with your hands with the hold you're not allowed to grab at the start, in between the 2 starting holds. And just cut, yeah, as soon as the feet cut loose, that's a pretty hard position to hang on to.
Yeah, very powerful boulder. Uses a toe hook here. Will she try to get straight to the shoulder? No, she tries to go out right.
Yeah, and you got to
With her
decide
feet.
what to do quickly with those feet. Just get tired quickly.
Whoa. Just barely hangs on to that crimp. Whew.
Now she's up to the zone. You can see the top beckoning. There's still a move to do. Then you get yourself in position. I suspect the first few moves took a lot of energy.
Yeah, definitely. That's the third zone for Sandra in this final round. Of course, we're looking forward to see a top from her. Crimps really hard on her right hand and tries to get over to the crimp, but can't quite grab it. It's a extremely bad crimp, that right hand, before the top hold. Wow.
You can see just to the right as well, there's women's 4 on the black and orange volumes. We'll talk more about that when the time comes. For now though, Sandra Lettner has less than a minute left. She's already got the zone. She got the energy to
One
go
more
for
try.
another go.
Yeah. She's using an E9 chalk bag made by an Italian world champion, Mauro Calibani. But now we'll look if Sandra will get the top on boulder number 3.
Feet come off again. This move looked like she was at the limit last time. She looked a little more comfortable on it this time. Off to the zone. This was where she fell last time, levering across. And this time she gets the crimp and control. The top beckons for Sandra Lettner, but she can only get there with the left hand, not both. She'll have to wait a little longer for that elusive top.
But not quite. It was a good performance from Sandra. Really strong, just not quite enough for the top hold. 3 zones so far, which puts her in 5th place.
Jessie
It'll be
Pilz.
impossible for her to get either 1st or 2nd place. But now we're focused on Jessie, who is also looking for a top. Come on, Jessie. Yeah, that's a good position. Come on, Jessie. That's the way
Goes
to
with
go.
the right hand, crosses through with the left, and then you've got to get yourself up
Come on,
so that
Jessie.
your head is almost next to the zone.
And she
then go
really
out to the
needs a
crimp.
top. If she wants to be able to get to the podium, come on, Jessie, yep.
Easy top for Jessie Pilz. It's a flash. Looks so strong on that one.
Yeah, now you could see all her power, strength, and experience. She displayed all these aspects now. I think she was quite angry at herself from the first 2 boulders, and now she showed us what it means to climb like Jessie. Good job.
Eva Maria Hammelmuller now already picked up a top, flashed the 2nd boulder. Jessie Pilz moves up from 6th into 3rd in the provisional rankings.
Yeah, 5 climbers now to top at least 1 boulder. So far, only Sandra did not quite manage to get a top. And Eva will be looking at her 2nd top now as she managed to climb boulder number 2.
She'd actually move into 1st place if she managed to flash this briefly. Putting flexibility to great use again. Thought about a knee bar maybe, but I think it's a bit too far for that.
Yeah, she's definitely the tallest climber in this round. With Johanna, I mean, Johanna and Eva might be the same height. Not entirely sure. But these 2 are definitely taller than Petra, Lucia, Jessie, and Sandra. It might have been a little bit of an advantage on the slab, but now this is a super powerful boulder. And we'll see if Eva will be able to climb this one as well.
Here she goes, no problems.
Beautiful method by Eva.
Yeah,
very
really nice
quick
done.
through that first section. It was definitely the most efficient version I've seen so far.
And it would seem that you want to go to that hold slowly, which you've managed to do. Definitely got to get the feet sorted. You can't go for the top from there. She's just got herself a little bit tied up.
Yeah, she needs to get her foot up before moving over to the crimp maybe, or ideally. Otherwise, it'll be a very long move to get to the top. But I think she realized, and she will try to do that on her next go.
Definitely capable of topping the boulders. You just got her feet in the wrong spot.
With 1 minute 45 on the clock, she has plenty of time to look at the boulder.
Time beginning to tick away though. She's had 2 goes.
Yeah, although Eva is aiming at 1 more go, and hopefully she'll be able to complete it. Yeah, this method looks extremely sufficient. Very well done. Oh, now she has her foot on the higher volume. Puts it down again. I wonder if that's going to be a good idea. No.
Can't quite figure out what to do with the left hand.
Yeah, and she already had her foot on the higher volume, which is the way to go, but somehow she didn't like that position and moved it further back, or moved it back down again. And now she doesn't have a lot of time to rest because there are only 30 seconds left on the clock. Come on now, Eva. This time it really counts. Will she move her foot up? She tries to. Come on, Eva. Yep, that's the way to go. Now grab the top hold. Yep.
Oh, no.
How many people have dropped a top hold today? But no one, almost no one dropped it with 2 hands already.
I still don't really know how she fell there. Let's have a look. You could tell she was physically tired. She got it in control, got her feet set up.
Just a little bit too fast, and then the volume is not a jog. I mean, yeah, you can definitely still fall, but she can't quite believe it herself. Too bad for Eva.
Well, you won't get much closer to that without actually doing it. Lucia Dorfel out next now. She got the
right.
Second boulder done on her second go.
She can join Johanna and Petra now, who have both topped 2 boulders. She can be the 3rd woman to do so in this final round.
Jetzt Luftstoffe. Den Feuergegnern hat sie den zweiten gelöst. Let's go for another, Lutz.
Come on, Lucia. Yeah, also a really nice method of going to this shoulder move.
It really is a terrible hold, that, but they make it look pretty good, actually, impressively.
Yeah, they make it look good, that's true. But these are world-class athletes. They know how to climb, that's for sure. Yeah, moves really efficiently through that first part of the boulder. But then trouble from the zone onwards.
Plenty of time left for her to have another go. Boulder's only been topped once by Jessie Pilz, and she absolutely walked up it, to be honest.
Yeah, she really showed us her strength on boulder number 3. Jessie didn't quite manage to climb number 1 and 2.
Lucia pulling on for another go with half 4 minutes remaining. Here she goes into the start position, then bring the left hand across. Squeeze the volumes and able to use that toe catch nicely again.
Yes, does it the same way as Sandra Lettner, just the first climber who was out on boulder number 3. Eva had a more, or a faster version, faster way to climb that bottom part.
Now I've got to try and use the foot. Getting a bit
she
frustrated.
shakes her head.
Yeah.
That triangle is no good at all. And you can't crimp any of it. I mean, it's just a flat triangle.
I've had a few questions, by the way, about what the marks are on the volumes, and that's where the route setters, when they set the boulder, which obviously isn't today, they only put them on the wall today, but they kind of create them earlier in the week, and they draw on them and then draw on the wall or the volume underneath, so that when they put the boulders back up, everything lines up, they've got marks waiting for them, and you know exactly where the holds go.
Yeah, and it actually functions like a lock. So they put a plus on the volume, and if it's in the right position, then they know that the volume is back in the right position. So it's as if a key is turned into a lock.
They've got very little time to make any changes to these boulders, so they have to set them earlier in the week and then just chuck them on the wall and maybe make a few changes if at all possible, or if required, I should say.
Yeah, women's semi-final was on the easier side, let's say. We had 8 women climb 4 problems. Lea Kempf and
Julia Fischer.
Exactly, thank you. Didn't quite make the cut. And Lucia Dörfel didn't make the cut either on problem number 3.
Johanna Faber out now. Really.
And that means that Johanna and Petra, if they are able to climb boulder number 3, that means that they will definitely be in the gold and silver medal spot.
Yeah.
Because only Jessie Pilz managed to climb a boulder, Eva Hammelmüller and Lucia, but they don't have a chance to climb 3 boulders as we are on boulder number 3 already. So if Johanna can climb this boulder, she's definitely number 1 or 2 in this second part of the Austrian Climbing Summer Series. Come on, Johanna.
So Johanna Faber, what a result it'd be if she could find a flash on this boulder. That's where she's going to, up to the zone. Decides to come back down, risky method, but it works.
Needs to match that tiny little crimper. Come on, Johanna.
Are we about to see a flash of this boulder? Is she about to do what Jessie Pilz did and do it first go? Yeah, she is.
She's on a roll. Wow.
And that means that the final is in her hands. All she has to do is what Petra does on the final boulder, and she'll win for the second week running.
And now she definitely had some errors in her sequence, but that didn't stop Johanna from flashing boulder number 3. That's a smile. Well done, Johanna. And yeah, Johanna is the worst that can happen to Johanna Faber is that she will place second because she's the only one to top 3 boulders.
So Petra under pressure now. Yeah, as you say, didn't always seem to get the sequence right. But we see with Janja Garnbret, doesn't always do it right, but she usually gets to the top, so.
Yeah, and if you're strong enough, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's true that you can have some mistakes, but if you have if you're strong enough, you can still make mistakes and flash the boulder nonetheless. But of course, there would have been an easier way. Yeah, and Petra knows now that she really can't waste any attempts. Oh, she's opting for the very hard way. Come on, Petra. This should be her style. It's a powerful boulder. She is a powerful climber. Come on now.
Tricky move now up to this little crimp, but she does it in complete control. If she can get her feet sorted, She should be looking good here, Petra, but she doesn't look like she quite trusts that right foot. I can't figure out what to do with the left.
Yeah, that's the same position that Eva was in just before, and Johanna was in the position as well. She managed to cross over with the left foot. Eva was not able to get out of this situation. Let's see if Petra will be able to solve it somehow.
That right foot looks like it's just creeping off. She's corrected it now.
Yeah, now she's moving her foot up. But of course that took a lot of power. She's been on the wall for almost 2 minutes already. And that's not quite enough.
Yeah, just ended up in a slightly awkward position. Climbers that have topped it, the tops look quite easy because they've got themselves in a good position. And if you're not in that perfect position, it looks desperate.
And only Jessie and Petra managed, Jessie and Johanna, excuse me, managed to top this boulder so far. And if Petra does not top this boulder, then Johanna is already the winner of tonight's final. But of course, I am definitely counting on Petra. She can do this boulder 100%. But Johanna really puts a lot of pressure on Petra this evening. She needs to calm down and relax a little bit before her final attempt.
I think she might leave it a little bit longer.
Yeah, I reckon she could still start with 40 seconds, but she opts for the safer version. Come on, Petra. We're all behind you.
So under a minute remaining now for Petra, grimacing as she goes up to that terrible little blocked crimp, crosses through to the triangle, the zone, and then levers herself round for that tiny little crimp. If she can just get her feet sorted, which I think she has, she will top the boulder, gets one hand up, gets the other one, and that's 3 tops. So we know that it's going to be between Johanna and Petra for the win.
Yeah, and I have to say that that's really what a world champion looks like. I mean, she knew that she had to top that boulder in order to have a chance of winning tonight's event. Took her time to climb this second attempt, then did everything right. Completely correct sequence. And she is able to top this boulder number 1, which leaves it very exciting for us.
Certainly does. So Johanna and Petra tied all the way through the competition in the qualifying and the semis, the exact same scorecard. It'll come down to those two, as we suspected it might, in the final boulder. Sandra Lettner now, currently down in 6th place, the only climber actually without a top in this evening's final. I think beginning to struggle with her skin. And yeah, another pretty physical boulder.
Yeah, it looks really physical and very hard to grab these holds. As you can see, this is just a tiny little...
it's a little crack.
Yep.
It might not even look like it. You maybe can't tell on the camera. There is a gap there. They're not touching those volumes.
Sandra already managed to secure 3 zones in this final round, but she's still missing a top.
I mean, she could still end up on the podium, Sandra Lettner, currently in 6th. It's unlikely, but it is possible. Ah, no problem. It's just out to the zone. It's 4 out of 4. Now she's getting herself in position. Just lay back in that left-hand hold. Apparently you can get a little potential finger lock in there, but don't really need it.
She's our Olympic youth champion. Can she show us a top on boulder number 4?
A lot of encouragement from her teammates. Oh, and she's close again.
Oh, she dropped the top on boulder number 3. Now dropped the top on boulder number 4. Ah, that is annoying. I feel you, Sandra. 4 zones though for her. Beautiful try and very strong effort. But next try we want to see a top.
See where she went wrong here. She seems to do everything right.
Yeah, somehow just...
Could you maybe flick the left hand to catch you?
Yeah, probably.
It's a lot
that
to
would
ask.
Help. It would definitely help.
Hard to do though, because you've got to get it back into the crack, so if you miss,
yeah, you gotta aim just right for it. Yeah, that little screw hold just makes it a little bit harder to actually catch this zone hold. There's the beep for the last minute. One more try from Sandra. Come on. Maybe 2 more tries. Wow, yeah. What a cool move. And then another spectacular jump.
30 seconds to go for Sandra Lettner. This is her go. She won't have time for another. Heads out right. Right hand in position, left hand needs to come over to join it. Now if she could get the left hand swapped over before she went for the top, she'd be looking in good shape. Doesn't need to. Got a little finger lock between those 2 black holes and went up with the right hand and stopped it nicely.
And there's the first top for Sandra Lettner. With 1 top and 3 zones, she will definitely advance on the ranking.
She's up into 3rd place, as you can see, all 4 zones. The only climber so far to get 4 zones, albeit she's the only climber to have attempted Boulder 4. But we know who the top 2 are going to be.
So now that means, excuse me, but it means that Jessie has to top this boulder in order to be able to place on the podium. The zone won't be enough for her, since Sandra has 4 zones and Jessie will only be able to get 3 zones. Come on, Jessie.
Jessie looking absolutely in control so far. Creeping out right. Looks completely untroubled up to now.
Yeah, she's the world champion, a World Cup winner, and a World Cup finalist in bouldering, so she can definitely do this boulder. Nice job.
Well, she couldn't find a top on either of the first 2 boulders, but she's flashed number 3 and number 4. Let's have another look. Looked like it was in the balance for a second, and once she stopped the swing, she was away.
This leaves Jessie with 2 tops and 3 zones.
Yeah, so sadly Sandra's stay on the podium was rather brief.
Yep.
Eva Maria Hammelmüller will be out next.
And she has 1 try.
Yeah, basically. So needs to get it done quickly if she wants to take a temporary spot on the podium.
She didn't manage to get the top, the zone or the top on boulder number 1. Climbed boulder number 2 and was very close on boulder 3. Did not quite manage it though. Now she used 1 attempt.
So both climbers out so far have topped the boulder. Gets the timing perfect that time. And these moves haven't proved too difficult. They looked tricky from below with that blocker hole in the zone, but they haven't slowed anyone down really. Chooses a cross through, out with the right hand. This is looking pretty promising.
Come on, Eva. Yeah, that looks solid.
And almost tops. Remember, you got a match with both hands. There it is.
Good work from Eva Maria Hammelmüller on this final boulder. Yeah, she looked in control, but it took her 2 attempts to complete boulder number 4.
Yeah, so that actually cost her a place on the podium for now. She's not going to take another medal after getting one last week, and Lucia Dorfel, the next climber out, and then it's set up rather nicely for the end. Johanna Faber and Petra Klingler, the 2 climbers gunning for the win, the last 2 climbers out.
Yeah, now Lucia also needs to make quick work of boulder number 4.
Yeah, I'm just looking actually, she can't get onto the podium, sadly.
But she can place 4th.
Yes.
If she flashes it, she will be ahead of Eva, if I am
Yeah, I think so.
correct.
So Jessie Pilz will pick up the bronze medal.
Yeah, and she will only be ahead of Eva if she flashes now, because she had a better ranking from the semi-final. Come on, Lucia. Will it be the 4th place or place over the 5th? All depends on the attempts right now. Come on, Lucia.
Looking really solid. Sandra Lettner's just walked back into the hall and is debriefing all her teammates on what the boulders are like. Looks tired, looks like she's had a hard round. Lucia Dorfel, meanwhile, is 1 move below the top. This boulder not slowed many people down. Sandra took 5 attempts to get it, but everyone else has got it done pretty quickly. And Lucia Dorfel could be about to do the same.
Come on, Lucia. This is her flash attempt. And, oh, she lets go off the top. That's too bad. Oh, and she shakes her head in disbelief, of course. Which means that Eva Maria Hammelmüller will be staying in 4th place. Ah, that was a bummer right now.
Quite a shallow pocket, actually. I've been surprised how easy people have made that look.
Yeah, that's true. As you can see, all the officials are wearing masks. Yeah, one of the requirements or restrictions, the safety restrictions that are put in place for this Austrian Climbing Summer Series. Lucia has about 2 minutes, 1 minute 50 left on the clock.
Just chalk it up, look, thinking about another go. This is sadly for her only for 5th place. It stayed quite open this final, but not getting number 3 done proved very costly. The 3 climbers who will end up on the podium are the 3 that got number 3 done, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and Lucia still needs to top it if she wants to advance from 6th place to 5th place. So it's a battle between her and Sandra Lettner at the moment. Sandra has topped 1 boulder, Sophia has topped 1, but she needs to top a 2nd one in order to advance in the ranking.
Just trying to find a sweet spot on that hold. I'm not sure there is one, to be honest. And now kind of finger locking with the left hand. Sees the top hold, here she goes. And it's the same outcome, rotates off it. And I wonder whether she'll bother having another go, actually. I don't know if she's got time.
Oh, she'll definitely have to try her last boulder, Charlie.
All right, why not?
She can't just walk off now.
She just looked fed up.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, But as an athlete, you have to get over that. Come on! Ah! One more try, Lucia. We're here for you. Ah.
Not today. She will end up in 6th place.
Too bad. But this means, since 3 women have climbed boulder number 4, it means that it's a rather easy boulder, which would mean that Johanna has better chances to win this competition, as she is 4 tries ahead of Petra. So she has 4 tries to complete this boulder.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for Johanna Faber. Lots of people topping it. She's got 4 tries in hand. Be an amazing result. 2 in a row. She won last week as well.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, she looked so strong in this final. If she doesn't feel pressured right now, then I would say that this is her day, but who knows? The mental game is always tricky to predict. So Johanna has some tries. Yeah, one.
Needs one of them.
Yep.
Maybe feeling the pressure a little bit, or maybe she just missed it.
Yeah, maybe it's both. Who knows? She needed 4 tries so far to top the other 3 boulders. Come on, Johanna. Ah.
Surely she's going to get
But
it
she
done.
makes it exciting. I'm sweating as I'm sat here in front of the screen. Come on, Johanna. You got this. Ah! Third try.
Needs to make sure she starts correctly as well. Something to keep an eye on. Got to get in a stable position. She's not really doing that, although if the judges say she is, then she is. But
yep.
It doesn't look like it to me, so you want to make sure of these things. You don't want an appeal, that's more like it. And she
4
just
tries.
can't find a way. This move hasn't.
And this means that she has 8 tries already, so 1 more try. And then this is the last try. If Petra flashes it, they're again in the same spot. Oh, come on, yo.
This time she gets it.
Come on, yo. You can do it. Hang on there.
Safely into the zone.
Come on,
Matches
Johanna.
that now. She'll head out right into that tapered crack.
This is super exciting right now. Come on, Johanna. Don't make the same mistake as Lucia. Please take your time. Match this black hold.
So crosses through, trying to get herself set up for that final move. Just levers open at the wrong moment, but rescues it.
Johanna!
Has the top. Now it's done. So it is 4 tops for Johanna Faber.
4 tops in 9 tries, that is. And Petra has 3 tops in 8 tries, so Petra has to flash it and they'll win both. If Petra doesn't.
As I'm sure you know, Rule 8.20 Part B, if the climbers are tied in respect to the final round, following countback, the ranking of the competitors is determined by comparing the best results for each competitor, starting with the number of tops attained on the first attempt. So basically, if you've got more flashes, you win,
So
and that would mean that Johanna wins.
Yeah, you're right. You're completely right, Charlie. This just determined our winner. Since Johanna flashed boulder number 2 and 3, she has already won this competition.
Oh, if you get the same scorers all the way through in every round and then win because you flash more in the final round, that is about as tight as it gets. But yeah, it comes down to, I was about to say it would come down to, well, it would if Petra does this first go, it still won't be good enough because it comes down to who did the most boulders quickly.
Yeah, this is only since this year actually. Yep. That's the rule from 2020. We used to have super finals. If you remember the European Championship in Munich, where Janja and Stasha had the super final, or the first super final in Hall in 2009. Let's not go down memory lane. Let's focus on Petra Klingler.
Did you win that one?
Let's focus on Petra's performance. Come on. And maybe I miscalculated, that's possible as well, but I believe that Johanna is our winner.
No, I agree.
Still, we're looking for a flash.
Could she do it, Petra, to tie on score in every round of the competition? Oh, she is not going to tie on score. Johanna's going to win it. Fair and square, Petra Klingler will move one step up the podium. She probably wishes she could come back next week because she gets one step higher every week. She was bronze medal last week, silver medal this week. Sadly, there is no next week here in Innsbruck. We're back on the 3rd and 6th of August, so with league competitions in Imst. But sadly for Petra, she's not going to leave from her second trip to Innsbruck with a gold medal.
Come on, Petra. And Petra and Johanna really were shining throughout this competition. They both climbed 5 boulders in qualification, 4 boulders in semifinals, and now Johanna climbed 4 in finals. Petra has climbed 3 so far and is looking for a 4th top. Now in boulder number 4.
So here she goes. She's going really quickly up to the orange hole before the zone. Maybe she just slows that move down a little bit. Might be okay, or just do it quickly, forget that.
But I think she did slow down a little bit, you're right. She did do it a little bit fast on her previous attempts. Come on, Petra.
You can see she's trying to find a way to get the left hand in the zone.
Oh, nice swap there.
That's one way of doing it.
Beautiful display of strength by Petra Klingler. Bouldering world champion from 2016.
1 minute to go for Petra. She could probably have one more attempt if this one doesn't work out, but she looks very solid this time. Just needs to figure out how to use this top pair of holds. You can see the top beckoning.
Ale, come on, Petra, you can definitely do it. Come on, don't let go.
Oh, and she just manages to hang on to it, Petra Klingler. She's climbed every boulder in every round here in Innsbruck over the past couple of days. 5 in the qualifiers, 4 in the semis, 4 in the final. But sadly for Petra, just required a few more attempts to do the final ones than Johanna Faber. Johanna Faber makes it quite incredible. 2 wins in a row, not even the great Jakob Schubert managed that. And the competition, you could argue, even stronger on the women's side than on the men's side. You look at that list of competitors, and to finish ahead of all of them, 2 world champions, youth world and Olympic champion in Sandra Lettner, even Maria Hammelmuller, who's been on exceptional form, Lucia Dörfel, very strong young German, and Johanna Faber's come out on top once again.
Yeah, a real display of consistency from Johanna Faber, winning this round and last week's round. She really put pressure on Petra. And
also wieder ein österreichischer Sieg. Jo Färber gewinnt und der Kilian Fischhuber ist schon hierher gekommen als mitverantwortlicher Trainer. Können Sie uns vielleicht das Phänomen von Johanna Färber erklären, was diese Form, diese beeindruckende Performance ausmacht?
Also einerseits bringt sie einfach eine Lockerheit mit, geht da irgendwie unbekümmert rein, man merkt ihr nicht an, sie ist sicher ein bisschen nervös, aber sie lässt sich da nichts anmerken und geht da sehr cool und irgendwie angstbefreit und dadurch geht es auch ein bisschen leichter und ich glaube, sie hat da echt ein hohes Niveau und kann sie da vielleicht noch ein bisschen mehr spielen in den Bouldern als die anderen Damen.
Das sind so technisch ihre ihre Stärken, ihre Vorzügen? Was ist das, was sie im Positiven ausmacht?
Also zum einen sicher, dass sie die Bewegungen immer richtig liest, dass sie immer weiß, wie die Sachen zu machen sind.
No, but it was a very interesting final round. I have to say, the route setters did a splendid job.
Sie haben ja selbst auch viele Erfolge gefeiert in ihrer Karriere, war heute schon zu sehen. Diese neue Lockerheit, wenn man mal schon so einen Sieg hat, wie vor einer Woche, dass man anders an die Sache herangeht.
Ja, sowas beflügelt natürlich, aber sie hat auch den Druck, das darf man nicht vergessen. Es gibt die Erwartung, dass sie gewinnen sollte oder oben sein soll. Und dem hat sie
in my opinion, was the dark horse before this competition, Jo and Eva maybe, because I mean world champion Petra Klingler and then world champion in lead Jessie Pilz were on the stage, but
she's not a dark horse anymore. People
that's
will
true.
really pay attention. I mean, you could win it one week because you have a good week, but to win 2 in a row, it's pretty special.
No, she really did a very good job, and there is the third ranked athlete, Jessie Pilz.
Petra went to the step she wanted to get on, but that's not the step she's going to be allowed onto. Jessie Pilz picks up another medal for the collection to add to the 2 World Cup wins and the World Championship win as well. 3rd place in part 2 of the
moves up
Austrian
1 spot
Series.
From last week's event. So
as did Petra.
As does Petra, you're right.
So close. Petra Klingler topped every boulder in every round, came down to attempts in the final, couldn't have been much closer, but somebody has to win and somebody has to come second. And Johanna Faber there, looking like the real deal. This will have got the attention of some of the big hitters in the sport. Second week in a row, she wins in Innsbruck. She topped every boulder, flashed them all in the semi-final, flashed 2 in the final. No question she was the best climber. There wasn't much in it between her and Petra, but she came out on top.
Yeah.
And that is it from round 2 of the Austrian Climbing Summer Series, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Good job. Another big day today, but thoroughly enjoyable. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed watching the competition. I hope you did as well, and I hope to see you again at the Austrian Climbing Summer Series for lead.
I hope so. We will speak to you then, 3rd and the 6th of August, and we will be joining you from Inns. Speak to you then.
Absolute Spitzenleute vorne drauf. Auch Eva Maria Hammelmüller hat wieder viele Punkte angeschrieben. Es gibt Interviews mit Giovanni Hahn. Hört euch das auf OF Sport Plus an. Und wir sind dann morgen ins Spiel zurück. Danke fürs Zuhören, danke fürs Dasein. Es war großartig, wunderbar. Die Corona-Spezial.
Johanna Faber, neuerlich die große Siegerin. Wie fühlt sich das an, zweimal hintereinander so einen Wettkampf, so eine Competition für sich entscheiden zu können?
Also ich habe mich nach dem ersten Mal schon so gefreut, und dass es jetzt wirklich noch ein zweites Mal hinhaut, ist unglaublich.
Was war entscheidend? Es war ja ein Kopf-an-Kopf-Duell mit der Kollegin Klingler aus der Schweiz, dass es am Ende ausgegangen ist. Wie haben Sie das nervenmäßig so gut durchgehalten?
Ja, wir haben uns ja echt gestern und heute wirklich die ganze Zeit ganz knapp gematcht, und im Semifinale ist es schon mega gelaufen für mich, und dann habe ich die ersten 3 Boulder im Finale echt noch gut meinen Kopf behalten, und dann beim letzten bin ich noch mal richtig nervös worden, aber zum Glück hat es funktioniert. Sie
haben auch nach Ihrem ersten Erfolg gesagt, Sie waren noch ein bisschen nervös. Jetzt hat vorher der Kilian Fischhuber gemeint, man merkt überhaupt nichts von irgendeiner Nervosität, die macht das so locker. Also wo liegt die Wahrheit?
Die Wahrheit ist, dass ich wieder nervös war. Vielleicht kann ich das irgendwie halbwegs gut abschalten, aber innerlich habe ich echt war ich richtig nervös.
Was war der Schritt jetzt zuletzt, der Sie noch ein bisschen stärker gemacht hat? Wo haben Sie zulegen können, dass Sie jetzt wirklich so toll performen können?
Also dadurch, dass das erste Mal schon so super gelaufen ist, habe ich natürlich ein bisschen weniger Druck gehabt jetzt, und das hat mir auf jeden Fall geholfen.
Gratulation nochmal, alles Gute und ja, Wahnsinn, noch ein Sieg hier in Innsbruck. Gehen wir gleich weiter. Das Mikrofon an die Jessica Pilz, die es neuerlich aufs Podest geschafft hat. Es hat am Anfang gar nicht so danach ausgesehen, aber es war ein fulminantes Comeback dann in der zweiten Hälfte dieses Finales. Kann man auf dem aufbauen. Was ist das Positive an dem heutigen Finalbewerb?
Ja, ich habe eigentlich in allen Runden gemerkt, dass die Fitness ganz okay ist für die Zeit halt jetzt. Aber bei den Platten ist mir einfach in keiner Runde gut gegangen. Das ist einfach meine große Schwäche, was ich jetzt wieder gemerkt habe. Und da muss ich auf alle Fälle gut aufholen und das gut trainieren in nächster Zeit. Ja.
Wie sehr hadern Sie dann, wenn es vielleicht nicht so funktioniert, wie Sie sich das wünschen? Wie sehr können Sie sich schon auf die nächste Aufgabe dann schon wieder konzentrieren und das zur Seite legen?
Also eigentlich kann ich das immer gleich zur Seite legen und ich kann mich gleich auf den nächsten Boulder konzentrieren. Also das spielt dann eigentlich keine Rolle. Aber ja, wenn man die Platte nicht macht oder halt auch Boulder dabei ist, wo man gar keine Chance hat, dann ist es halt auch schwer, dass man da vorne mithält mit den anderen.
Wie gut ist es jetzt, diese Wettbewerbe, diese Wettkämpfe auch zu haben, diese Konkurrenz, wie man sieht, nicht nur aus dem Ausland, sondern sogar im eigenen Team, in einem eigenen Nationalteam zu haben, um sich messen zu können. Wie wichtig war das jetzt für Sie auch selbst als Standortbestimmung?
Ja, es ist richtig gut, dass wir jetzt wieder Wettkämpfe haben. Eben gerade, dass man wieder so die Schwächen erkennt und an die dann später arbeiten kann. Weil im Training macht man halt dann doch lieber das, was man gut kann. Und da drücke ich mir immer ein bisschen für die Platten, aber jetzt weiß ich halt, dass ich da einiges aufholen muss.
Anfang August geht es dann weiter mit dem Vorstieg in Imst. Wie groß ist da die Vorfreude jetzt schon?
Lead ist auf alle Fälle meine Lieblingsdisziplin, also da freue ich mich richtig drauf und jetzt werde ich mich auch voll darauf fokussieren im Training.
Okay, dann sage ich danke, alles Gute weiterhin und toi 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 auch dann für die Bewerbe in Imst. So, die Anna Stör ist auch noch da, kommt zu mir her. Wir haben schon geglaubt eigentlich, es gibt keine Steigerung an Spannung, was das Finale bei den Männern betrifft, aber es ist noch einmal eigentlich besser geworden, noch spannender geworden. Jetzt bei den Frauen, auf wen hast du getippt? Ganze Zeit dann während des Finales?
Ja, das war jetzt wirklich irrsinnig spannend, aber dadurch, dass die Johanna wirklich von Anfang an so viel Druck auf die Petra ausgeübt hat, hat es am Ende schon ausgesehen, als würde die Johanna die Nase vorne behalten, was sie dann auch gemacht hat. Aber man hat gesehen, dass die Nerven wirklich blank gelegen sind bei beiden Damen an Boulder Nummer 4 und also an Spannung kaum zu überbieten.
Was man fast ein bisschen vergisst, der Eva-Maria Hammelmüller mit dem kleinen vergebenen Top da beim dritten Boulder, wer hätte auch noch voll mitgemischt, jetzt nicht um den Sieg, aber ums Podest eben.
Ja, also ums Podest ist die Eva heute auf jeden Fall geklettert. Alle diese Damen haben wirklich viel drauf, sind total stark und man muss sich erst beherrschen in so einem starken Feld.
Ich habe schon angekündigt, die nächsten Bewerbe dann Anfang August, auch die werden live in OF Sport Plus übertragen in Imst. Vorstieg, was erwartet uns dort, was erwartest du dir für die Bewerbe?
Ja, dort heißt natürlich die klare Favoritin auf jeden Fall Jessica Pilz bei den Damen und bei den Herren ist der Favorit wieder der Jakob Schubert. Imst ist eine sehr lange und danach auch sehr steile Wand, also das wird bestimmt sehr, sehr spannend auch zu sehen, wie die Athleten jetzt von den Boulder-Disziplinen auf die Vorstiegsdisziplin umschwenken können.
Okay, dann sage ich danke. Anna, diese Übertragungen starten dann am Montag, den 3.8., 3. August ab 20.15 Uhr. Das ist der erste von 2 Vorstiegswettkämpfen dann in Imst bei uns zu sehen, live in OF Sport Plus. Das war's vom Klettern. Live-Sport gibt es dann morgen wieder hier bei uns ab 12.30 Uhr aus dem Golfclub Adamstal mit der European Tour. Wir wünschen Ihnen hier aus Innsbruck noch einen angenehmen Abend. Ciao.
Geht's weiter mit Speed im August, mit Lead in Imst. Die Gesamtwertung wird datiert mit Jessica Pilz und Jo Ferner und Petra Klingler. Absolute Spitzenleute vorne drauf. Auch Eva-Maria Hammelmüller hat wieder viele Punkte angeschrieben. Jetzt gibt es Interviews mit Giovanni Hahn. Hört euch das auf OF Plus an. Und wir sind dann morgen jetzt wieder zurück.
Ein bisschen rüber, machst du einen Schritt noch her. So, was?
Das war großartig, wunderbar. Die Corona
Johanna Färber, neuerlich die große Siegerin. Wie fühlt sich das an, zweimal hintereinander so einen Wettkampf, so eine Competition für sich entscheiden zu können?
Also, ich habe mich nach dem ersten Mal schon so gefreut und dass es jetzt wirklich noch ein zweites Mal hinhaut, ist unglaublich.
Was war entscheidend? Es war ja ein Kopf-an-Kopf-Duell mit der Kollegin Klingler aus der Schweiz. Das